Welcoming everybody for the day number 2 of the final match of this Challenge Cup for the SMB3 Randomizer tourney um, for this year. We're pretty much about to start up with this best the final setting of this best of 5. Remember, Japezu took like the
Yeah, yeah,
advantage
yeah, 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 yeah.
yesterday, where he pretty much has 2 wins on his pocket. So here's CrEgg's match to lose. So he needs to win this game number 4 with a seal that I rolled, and his flag set was the group tourney group 2, which means that we are going to be watching end cards and hammer breaking logs. So with that said, here's my co-commentator for today. Hello there, True Hyper.
Hello, everyone, and I'm doing fine. And yeah, just like Shagit said, this is the day 2 of the grand finals of the SMB3 Randomizer Challenge Cup 2022. And this is the situation. I'm very excited about this race.
Yeah, he's excited because he's pretty much here, to cheer up for his, Finnish partner, which is Japezu. But we are pretty much going to have like some rival commentating here because I'm rooting for CrEgg.
Well, speaking of yesterday's races, yesterday, Japezu and CrEgg had very tight and awesome 3 races. Japezu first got a 1-0 lead, then got stroked by a very nasty seed on race 2. Especially World 8 was a nightmare.
Well, everybody knows that my seeds can be quite good, like good in terms of being like jet seeds, or bad in terms that we're finding every nightmare level that it can possibly be in here in this game. So our runners are about to start right now. We're starting with World 7 and a 4 right away, and a 6 F2. Not a bad 4, but definitely not a good one considering that you're small, so you have to do it like the long way, not the speedrunning strat like intended way. Right now, Japezu is taking a little bit of an early lead just because like he made it to those like dome cycles, while CrEgg is playing as safe as he can right now. Like he knows what's on the line right now. Ooh, he collects himself a fire flower, so he's right now not more extra safe. Oh, as soon as I say that, to keep it, but Japezu right now pretty much taking the lead, just by going a little bit faster.
And yeah, I was just about to say, like I said, World 8, last night in Race 2, World 8 was a nightmare. Japezu got totally lost, and that was the thing that CrEgg needed to tie the series to 1-1, and that was the moment when Japezu actually suffered his first loss in this cup. But then, Race 3, oh my god. I mean, Japezu totally destroyed that seat and showed us that he didn't come to fool around. It's time to get serious. And now he starts this day 2 in 2-1 lead and needs only 1 win to merge victorious.
Oh yeah, but right now, pretty much like our runners are. How can I even say this? Like they are trying to look for the promised land right now. Like they're pretty much like searching pipes. I believe that there's a divergence in the way.
I thought the promised land was the Valley of the Bowser, where you find that.
And as soon as I mentioned that, like Japezu pretty much because of the divergence in the routing, CrEgg takes the lead just by finding the promised land, like in the eastern of World 7. He takes a damage right because of that latitude over there, but it's fine. It's completely fine.
And speaking of the racers, I think CrEgg is a more consistent runner, but Japezu is like a momentum player. If he makes one big mistake, then he will do multiple mistakes in a row and kind get tilted up.
Oh,
So
he's pretty much like a snowball player. Like once that there's like some sort of mistake, like it just keeps snowballing towards him. I can feel that happening. Actually, I am a snowball person myself as well.
yeah, that's right. And so It's 2-1 for Japezu, so CrEgg is laying on his back against the wall and needs to win 2 times in a row. But I believe he will pull it off. That's what people want. They want full series. We want full series. These players have been awesome during the whole cup, and their race 3, yeah, it was total destruction. But now it's race 4. Let's concentrate on this one.
Like I mentioned, if I signed up for doing comms, it's because I'm expecting to have like a full series match. Like I'm not commentating just for 1 match. I'm commentating for 2 matches. So I'm hoping that's the case, and we continue watching. Like CrEgg, kind of a little bit extending more of his lead, so we can see like a game number 5. So. Right now, sorry for those that were asking for the RWO, we couldn't get it. And we have a French vanilla here where we are playing 2F in World 2, being World 2, so this is quite interesting. And right now, CrEgg, by playing like really conservative with his Fire Flower, like not doing any speedrun strats, no piece be built onto that latter part of the bomb section. But right now our runners are doing completely good. But right now there's probably a divergence from CrEgg. Well, he's going to start like getting some N cards in the way. And
so the N cards are turned off, right?
No, are turned on in this type of flag set. So we might see like those inventory getting like pulled up. Probably music boxes and stars, who knows? Or like the mighty like clouds and hammers, which it's definitely something we want to see like for a jet seed. But again, since those end cards are completely randomized, you don't know pretty much like which patterns you're going to get to do like the matching games. So that's pretty much like the time that you'll be losing about it. So we see CrEgg right now just enter into this end card. Well, I believe that Japezu, he's going for it as well. Oh, okay. No matches at the beginning, but at least they got some information about these cards. Right now, we're having 6-7 without the auto-scroller because seriously, who wants auto-scrollers in this?
In my personal point of view, I hate this level. It's so boring.
Without the auto-scroller, yeah, it could be. It's more of an execution like platforming thingy. But overall, like the only thing that I kind of disagree with this level is that it's too long. Like I don't know if it's like up to 25 seconds that you're going to go through it. Like there's no peace with strat, so that sucks.
Well, I call that land of the leap of fates. See, if you took the upper road, you are not able to see where the platforms are if you haven't learned where they actually are. I've died so many times on that on that particular level.
Oh, it happens. Pretty much Japezu catching up. CrEgg is not going anywhere. Like he's definitely in good position. To keep on his toes. Right now. Excuse me a little bit. My English is not working properly. But I'm just kind of curious about like this divergence in routing, and we get to see that Japezu got like the bad level. Like Japezu a longer level than CrEgg because of the routing.
I hope Japezu don't get any bad flashbacks about this, since in race 2 he was totally he was in big trouble. He got 0 lives, but he still nailed this level. Speaking of devil.
And now he's much, you know what, I'm going to play another one. And he gets the frog suit in 1-4. I really particularly not able to be using a frog suit, considering that, yeah, like one missed jump. If you do not know like the frog mechanics,
I saw Japezu practicing this level with the P-Speed strat. He's so good with this level.
Ooh.
But now he took a bad play and used the frog suit.
And we also got to see that this 5-3, oh my god, that save from CrEgg. Really impressive, but it has like that annoying fire set.
Oh my!
God, oh my god, the lag!
So much stuff on the screen. Get out of there!
Oh, those fire chumps are ruthless.
And they're probably the worst enemies of the entire game. I think they respawn if you kill them.
Yeah, they continue respawning even if you move yourself like one, to one side of the level. Okay, so all these Hammer Bros are giving out some P-Wing, so it's not a bad thing. Ooh, considering that you're entering into this airship. Yep. World 7 airship is not a good airship to, I mean, if you want to go for the early P-Speed, it is really technical, considering that you have to do like some, you need like good timing for those jumps. And Japezu coming back to this fight. There's a water fight and oh my god, be careful! And,
Boomerang water battle.
oh my god.
Yuck.
And Japezu pretty much going to use his P-Wing to get another P-Wing when he realizes it's going to feel like, oh my god, like
That was a waste.
Yeah, this is an unnecessary time loss or something like that. While CrEgg, it's already starting like World 3, that I'm going to guess that it's World 4. What do you say?
I say World 3. Called it!
Alright.
So it has been World 7, 2, and 3. I'm gonna call this World 1 is in World 7 spot.
Alrighty, and if you get to see like real closely to this like layout of this map, nice fire kill though from Japezu. There's 2 forts and I can see 2 logs already. So there's that pipe in the center that definitely it's the one that it leads to 1B. Unluckily, you have to be playing this fort, so your hammer is not going to be used right now, but it might be useful later. Sadly, there's no double hammer play, like, seriously.
Boomerang in water with small Mario Nightmare fuel. Slider, I have to disagree. Fire Bros. Water battle as a small Mario against Fire Bros. It's a much worse nightmare.
Ooh, we have a different like pattern from.
That's gotta be the pipe on the middle.
Yeah, it is the pipe in the middle. And let's see what does CrEgg got from that end card. But what are you doing? Why are you standing up? Probably he was just marking up like his card tracker.
Taking notes.
Taking notes correctly. Ooh, there's 6-5 with a boss base right there. Luckily, CrEgg already had a tail, so he's pretty much just...
Any pilot drivers?
Oh, come on, don't jinx it!
Aww.
You wanted to...
You disappoint me, 6-5. You disappoint me.
CrEgg is being quite unstoppable right now, and Japezu pretty much got 2 items as well. Oh, he got a hammer suit, and I wonder what CrEgg got in his inventory.
Go for the clip. Go for the clip. Aww. No P-Speed.
Okay, so CrEgg is going to take the basement here in 4F1, which is going to give some Japezu a better chance, you know, to how can I say this? To catch up, because the top route it's always faster.
Oh, we got a celebrity here. Hello, Big Mac. Yeah, this is a repeat plus live from the future.
Alrighty, so... CrEgg got himself a cloud and a fire flower, so... And speaking of fire flower, he got on the special tile over here. And Japezu being extremely safe as well, going for the basement. And
oh, that's a time loss. Or can you get her a P-speed over there? Can you get her a P-speed? Oh, that was close. You can actually build up a P-speed over there. I can see that. It was so close.
This is quite huge for CrEgg right now because he got himself a second hammer and a cloud. So pretty much, if Japezu does not play those bros, oh wait a minute. The other hammer that has the bro, yeah, like he's going to be lacking some inventory right now. But he definitely got to catch up himself. But the thing is, are we having a good one? Ooh, it's Starry. It's a Starry.
Oh my!
Careful.
Oh! Wendy was running out of ammo, I see. Did you see? Did you see her swinging the wand, but nothing happened? Oh no!
And Japezu takes a deathing here. Pretty much, I'm pretty positive that he would be like kinda like saying like Wendy, because apparently it was like a 5-hitter Wendy. Yeah, and the way that CrEgg managed it out, like, I'm so impressed. Like, I know that in past seeds that he would be playing, like, 5-hitter Wendy's are always, like, his own nemesis, but he managed it so well. Alrighty, so CrEgg pretty much entering to 2-4 with the rock suit.
What? Alright, going with go.
So badly. You wanna get rid of that frog suit! CrEgg, what are you doing?
He's transformed himself to human mustard, I see.
Well?
Welcome everyone, this is the SMB3R Randomizer challenge called Frog Percent.
Somehow he's hoping that this frog suit is going to be helpful, like, in the next level, so he wanted to keep on. Ooh.
Imagine if it is 7-4 or 3-1.
Or if it's, yeah, if it's 3-1 or a 4-4, it's going to be huge for him. And are we going to have like a clear? Oh no, he missed out just a little bit. But he got himself really nice inventory right now. 2 clouds that he's going to use one right away.
And that, okay. Oh! Road 8 Fortress, and that's gonna build a bridge, I think.
Yeah, I want to believe that it's going to build a bridge, which is going to be really, really good in case of, you know, like,
Oh, by the way, about those end card games, are the items you get randomized?
Oh yeah!
Because I think once I got a mushroom, and then I checked my inventory and it was a fire flower.
Yeah, it happens that it's actually randomized. And as we can see over here also, What?
Japezu fell down the death trap.
Oh no! Those Paragumbas gone for blood always! Oh, that was so wow. I mean, Japezu picked like the shorter leveling here, but those Paragumbas always come for blood. Okay, so CrEgg is going to get himself like more items to his inventory.
Bro, come on! It's so annoying when the hammer bro jumps down inside the rock.
Yeah. Ooh, and Japezu gets himself another hammer, but CrEgg is also getting it.
Another hammer.
Oh, this is getting spicy. Oh,
He's got like 3 hammers right now.
I believe that CrEgg does has 3 hammers now. Ooh, it's a long World 5.
Oh, it's a full,
that portion.
almost a full set of levels.
Any boss battles waiting for him? Oh, only baby bass. And another hammer for CrEgg. Oh my god.
What is this? Hammer percent?
This is going to be really helpful going towards like the end of the game, but here Japezu is going to take a little bit of the lead back because the coin ship wasn't on his way when, you know, like when he entered to 5-2.
This it reminds me of one of the races again, practice races I've been doing against Japezu. We both entered Bowser's Castle and we both had like 4 to 5 hammers in our inventory. And hammers didn't break locks.
Oh, you're talking about like my match
Yeah.
Raikou?
Yes. We had exactly the same situation back in the days.
Ooh, okay. So
Oh.
we have
7-9 with the boss bass. That's nice. Well,
So-
much better than mini boss.
now. CrEgg is going to take like that 100 coin fine over there.
Yeah.
He's going
If
to
you are
use
a boss bass
Cloud.
mule, CrEgg was the main course.
Oh, never mind. I thought that he was going to be using like his solar cloud, but he knew he had a better power up for this. Which, just like that, he's pretty much
Yep.
catching up.
Yep, that was actually a very not wise play over there.
Did he despawn the boss pass like overall? Because I'm not even watching it like again. Which you love to see. You never want to watch like that boss pass. Oh, never mind.
Get the wall jump. Get the wall jump. Go! Nah.
Alright, so Japezu getting his lead back just by playing a shorter level despite of the death and not having to get like that 100 coin fine. And oh my god! Morton came in for blood as well. Like he got it. Japezu got a stun lock. Oh, you.
That was a scary fight.
Yeah, and if you got to see from CrEgg's side, like pretty much Roy just jump in like right immediately. So imagine if you didn't know if it was like a heavy Roy. That would actually be horrible. So right now, about to enter to World 5. Hoping that it's World 6. I don't know about you, Chad. And it's World 4, of course. So we have an interesting layout over here where the 2 forts are pretty much like yeah, you can pretty much get them. How can I say this? They're pretty much in the way, so there's no need to be checking more like more levels, and hopefully this is the right fort, and it's going to be like a one and done type of world.
Did you know that World 4 has actually a shape of a turtle? Kappa.
Actually, it is in shape of a turtle, and I discovered that until last year.
I know that you know. Oh, that was the right fort.
Nice. Now, his CrEgg is going to
Come.
be using like his...
Nice, okay, so destroy those hammers.
Okay, CrEgg pretty much collecting more items right now, and Japezu collected himself another cloud, so they're even in clouds.
Kenshin track, yes, this is the day 2 of the grand finals. Right now, Japezu has the 2-1 lead, and he needs only 1 win to seal the victory. And CrEgg is CrEgg is laying a back against the wall, and he needs to win 2 in a row. So if Japezu wins this one, it's over. But if CrEgg wins, we're gonna have the final game 5.
Alright. Japezu collected his one like a 23 like 07 and something like that, and they're pretty much like 6 seconds apart, so this can go either way. Like, this is still anybody's game. In the upcoming worlds, if there's like any opportunity for CrEgg to start using his hammers, he's going to definitely appreciate that tons. But because normally World 6 tend to be like one of the longer ones, and speaking of the devil, here it is. But as soon as you enter, you see a fort, you gotta play it. Unless, you know, CrEgg is going to do something right now. He's going to do some exploration mission himself, because it's like, I won't need any forts. And he realizes there's an opportunity right there. And we get to see 1 10 tile, so probably... Oh, 2 10 tiles, so probably that fort that Japezu just went in, it's not necessarily required.
It's not required. Yep.
We're going to check up in the moment, considering that Japezu still needs to do some exploration himself. And he knows that he has plenty of hammers also to start checking like that rock over there.
1 10 tile and a pipe on the right up corner. Let's see if he noticed this one. Oh, there's a 3 10 tiles. That was the only fort required. Oh my.
And Japezu doing the double cloud play over there. And about to enter to Lemmy's fight right now.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that might backfire, like, because...
What if that fort is required to break a lock? But yeah, hammers can break locks. Oh yeah, but what if it is a bridge? No.
Because, like, the only fort that it was required, it was at the beginning, and there was only 1 lock, so...
Oh, I totally forgot.
Don't get your hopes too high, True Hyper.
Hey!
I know what you're doing there. I know what you're doing there.
Party blooper.
Alrighty. Oh, CrEgg tried to get like the off-screen 1 grab once again, but he couldn't actually make it on time. Ooh, okay, so this is a nice moment to use actually a lock. But what are the levels like ahead?
Oh my. 1-5 beta level.
1-5 beta level is not bad, just kinda annoying because you cannot build P-speed properly, and if you do, sometimes it backfires at you because of those, like, buster beetles.
I've never beat this level without taking damage.
It happens.
Always that fire piranha plant always gets me. I always take damage from that.
Also, fun fact about the 1-5 beta level is that it's one of the only like non-randomized enemy sets. Like, there's always going to be like the same like enemy sets. So
yeah, but those Buzzy Beetles and Koopa Troopas.
Ooh, we have a photo clear from Japezu right now. So probably he got himself another cloud. Yes, indeed.
Is he going to use a cloud? Oh!
Ooh, and...
Both of them are doing exact same plays. What is this?
They know what is at stake right now because...
I saw yesterday they both played exact same way in Race 3, but still Japezu nailed it.
Oh my god, CrEgg, no! CrEgg apparently doesn't know like the strat for the peace-beating World 6 airship. Because with that tail, that could have been huge. Like, he could have gotten like the lead back, but again, right now, oh my god, it is one hitter, so this is going to be the fight right here, right now.
Well,
like,
gathering P-speed, building up P-speed from the start, is that enough?
Yes,
to get
it is
past the
enough.
mast.
It is enough. Like there's an actual
Oh!
way of doing it.
I always go to the second part of the ship and try to build up P-speed over there, but I'm keeping wasting time, so I'm never going for it.
Oh well, you gotta learn some flying like techniques in that World 6 airship. But
Oh
right
yeah, how many
now,
bridges?
we get to see
Okay,
a
now
lot
it's
right away.
it's at least 3, 2.
2 logs. Ooh, CrEgg was 2.
Interesting play.
There's 3 logs right away. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is going to be... Whew.
One bridge is... Only one bridge. Oh
One
my.
bridge is required, but there's only one answer for this.
Is this it?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm taking like a heavy... Oh my god, like... CrEgg. CrEgg taking the right pipe. This is not the bridge! No way! No way!
How about this one? How about this one? No!
Oh my god!
Go back, CrEgg. It's not the right port.
And Japezu, because he's like, oh my god, it must be this one. Oh my god, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I can't.
Now we don't have any idea which one is it.
I want to imagine that's the one in the Navy, like the one that it's right away, like from the start.
Are there one or two clouds that are
CrEgg,
actual levels?
Stop doing that! Stop doing that! Oh god, CrEgg! You're going to give me, oh my god, a heart attack! Oh my god, that was so intense gaming right there. Oh my god, such a god gamer, CrEgg!
Well, this is the finals. It has to be intense.
Oh my god. No, but I'm shaking. I'm straight up shaking. Alrighty, so... Oh, probably Stewie might be right, and the Air Force is the actual...
Oh, this is the super tank.
Oh no, and the CrEgg gets grabbed!
Oh,
And he
CrEgg,
decides to
just take a death.
no.
It decides to play it. This can be a very bad decision for CrEgg.
Or Japezu might get grabbed by the hand as well. So he might get grabbed 5 times in a row and get stuck. Oh my god! Is it the Navy? The answer. Is it the Navy? It's the Navy because there's no lock at the beginning! I mean, like in that handbridge. Oh my god! Oh my god, this could be, oh my god. Oh, that's not the answer, because there's no lock at the beginning. Ha! Oh my god! So it was the Navy all along, I believe that. Oh goodness, this is pretty much CrEgg's ready to lose up to this point.
610. Okay, now Japezu knows which level is it. It's the Navy. The answer is the Navy.
Okay, but CrEgg
Imagine
is on his way.
imagine Navy being 7F2.
I hope it is.
Oh!
It has to be.
Oh, look how close they are now.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And there's no way. There's no unique way to actually be dying this level unless, I mean, even if you're not a runner, like this is like the easiest sport in the world.
Well, actually, I was scared of this part where CrEgg is right now. As a kid, I was scared of that part.
Okay, so
And that's the difference between the normal kill and the hammer kill.
He didn't get pretty much like the Kobe kill, so
Yep, I know.
that's not valid. Oh my god, Japezu has to do like an extra 5 transitions just to get to that one. Oh my god, this is so... Oh my god, this is Japezu's race to lose. This is Japezu's tournament to lose right now. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What a nail biter.
Now, if Japezu does not get the final clip first try.
Oh, did he get the clip? This is it, people. This is it.
No.
Oh
My god, it might be.
He gets it. Japezu is going for the championship. But if he misses the buzzer kick, no! That's the final nail on the coffin, ladies and gentlemen. Japezu takes the win, 3-1, and he's going to the championship. GG's on the chat, people. Japezu is the Challenge Cup. Japezu is the Challenge Cup 2022 champion. Get a big hand for our big winner today.
Oh my god, that was so close. CrEgg must be like, oh my god, probably that was like the lack of hammers or something like that, but that was so intense.
Oh, my stomach hurts. Be right back.
Oh my god, that was so intense right at the end. That was unnecessary, guys. You didn't have to give me such a heart attack right at the end. Whew. I mean, to be fair, well played, Japezu. Well played. I completely... I got shocked. Oh my god, wow. This was everybody's game until that one singular moment of that clip. Because if Japezu didn't get that clip and went into the statue room, and as you could see, there was one fireball that you weren't be able to dodge unless you were extra patient, but nobody has time to be extra patient in the random seed. But oh my goodness, what a finale. Oh my god. Yeah, the 6F3 elevator room from CrEgg, that, wow, that oh my god. Whew. Wow, that was so incredible for both of these runners. I hope they got extended an invite right now, so we're going to ask them if they're going to be joining for some sort of interview right now. Wow, what an end. To be fair, I at least wanted this to be closer than I mean, this went closer than I expected, to be honest. It was just an uphill battle, oh my god, I cannot even I cannot even speak right now. It's so, oh my god. Oh my god. This was such a tight race. This was such an amazing match.
Yeah, and now it's time for me to do the translation.
Welcome in, Japezu. I don't know how to say welcome in Finnish, but welcome in and GG for the tournament match.
Well, you can, Sharky, you can talk English to him. He can understand you.
Yeah, I know, I'm positive, but the thing is that I mean, I want to hear from him right now. What are his feelings right now?
Mitkä fiilikset, Jape?
Aika tyhjentävät tällä hetkellä. Meillä lähdin tilttaa ja parissa kohtaa tuossa pelin aikana, niin...
He feels like empty and he was so close to get tilted up.
Mutta kyllähän tuo loppujen lopuksi meni ihan hyvin. Ja vähän kyllä oli semmonen... Ei ollut niin varma fiilis, kun tuli tämä Blackie, kun en oo tällä hirveästi pelannut. Niin. Mutta
Yeah. And Japezu just said that it went quite well, but he wasn't feeling quite comfortable because he hasn't been playing this flag set just a couple times.
Yeah, I can imagine that when you are practicing yourself like one type of a flag set, it actually can. Whenever you try to play like another type of flag set, it happens. Like you feel like kind of like it starts making you question like some of the decisions that you might take. You know, like going for the end card or using this hammer for this lock or anything. I know how hard it could be, but with that, even with that happening, like you did a wonderful job. And here is also like CrEgg SMB3, the runner-up for the Challenge Cup 2022. How are you feeling, CrEgg? Why you tried to give me a heart attack in that elevator of 6F3? Why?
I know. I don't know why. I don't know why I moved, and it's like I was like. Yes, especially when I died first time around, I was like, "Oh, please don't die right at the end."
I was shaking like in that specific moment, and to be completely fair, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about the match itself because I want you to watch back this. You guys were in Bowser Castle at the same time.
Japezu was like less than 10 seconds. Difference was less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, but
yes.
But don't say Monster Hyper about like the whole seed. Like everything was decided pretty much in Bowser Castle. Like you were that close.
You were both
GG's.
going for the clips at the same time.
That's as much as I like Randomizer, losing to a clip if I did, I think everyone's been in that position before, but yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. Especially, I think I played pretty well. I probably in a couple of levels I was a bit dodgy, but I think I played solid in the game 4. But yeah, GG's Japezu, well deserved.
Yeah, GG too.
Oh my heart.
Yeah, right. Like we were like you guys play a little bit similar in terms of the routing decisions that you were taking. And when I saw like I mean how close it was entering to World 8 and all like the God Gaming thingies that you guys did, like you know, like CrEgg with the 6F3 save, Japezu not getting pulled by hands, and you know, like he was like the time was ticking like in that position in that Bowser Castle, and I know how stressful it is to be entering to Bowser Castle and not seeing, you know, like in the race time like a window that there's no one has finished. Like the adrenaline just gets shut into your body, and oh my god, like the same way that you were guys feeling, that was the same guy we were feeling here in the commentating booth, and I won't imagine that it was also the same way in the chat. So
yeah,
it was a heck of a race.
Yeah, I always close my race time because, like, as much as you go into World 8, you're like, oh, has Japezu actually finished? I'm like, even if he hasn't, I'm still going to run it anyway. But sometimes it can be a negative because it gives you more pressure, because you think, oh, I'm still in it. You might like try and overforce something. So I decide when I play races, I just close my race time room and just let it be.
It's fair.
Yeah, and according to Racetime GG, Japezu's official time was 35:22 and CrEgg 34:57, so it was like 35 seconds.
Yeah.
It was a close one.
It was quite of an nail biter, like all in that last world. And like I mentioned, you guys need to watch back this race because you guys were, I mean, even the commentary controls were out of control, like considering that I have to be like moving, like, you know, like the audio from one to the other to yeah, like I was I got thrilled in this final match of the Challenge Cup, and I'm so happy I actually signed up for this because that was intense and that was incredible. So even though like the outcome, you guys played incredible like throughout the finals. Like you guys did a wonderful show. You guys gotta be like really proud of that because it was amazing to witness. And without being pretty much said, like Japezu, you pretty much took the championship to Finland. So hopefully, you're going to keep like defending your title and keeping it in Finland for the next years of the randomizer like Challenge Cup tourney.
Oh yeah,
And
and any thoughts? No Atlantis, no 7-5 or 7F2.
of course,
couldn't-
it's a Shar seed. It's a Shar seed. Of
I
course.
couldn't believe it. There was literally, well, the only nightmare seed at the level you'd say was probably 7-9, which I purposely died and I quit to the P-wing so I could just fly up quicker. But other than that, they were very tame enemy sets. Well, you had that world. What was it? 5-3 was it?
Oh yeah, 5-3 with the far jumps and far
Yeah,
speeds.
so that was probably the only. I would say that was the only level that I just didn't like because I was like trapped in corners and like, oh, okay, I'll just damage boost at the end.
It's funny that you mentioned 5-3 because that level was where the pyramid is located in World 2. And you went to 5 position with which was 1-4. Japezu went to the 2-4 position and it was 6-6. So yeah, there's something in there that also happened. But again, you guys have to watch back this race because even though like you guys took like some difference in like the routing, you guys kept it like so close towards the end of the end of the game, and that's what everyone was rooting for, like having like a really really intense and close match. So you guys provided what pretty much the like the whole like spectators wanted. So again, any thoughts about like how you guys feel like about like like the tournament, like this match, like what do you
Well,
guys
yeah.
think about?
I want to ask this same thing from Japezu in Finnish. Japezu, ei Atlantista, 7-5 eikä 7F2, mitkä fiilikset niistä?
No, en mä tiedä oikeastaan. CS:GO olisi ihan sama vaikka olisi tullutkin, mutta ihan hyvä, että CS:GO ei tullut. Mä en niin siitä välitä, että Mikko olisi ollut siellä. Mutta ei oikeastaan. Muuten oikeastaan niinku... Hyvä, ettei Atlantissa 7 on tullut, mutta CS:GO tosiaan ihan sama vaikka olisi tullutkin. Sille ei ole niin väliä itsellä.
Yeah. Well, Japezu said, well, I don't know actually. If I would have encountered 7F2, I don't care, but luckily I didn't see 7-5 or even Atlantis. Those are a nightmare levels. Thanks for the hocus pocus when he gave me and Japezu a seed, and the first level of the entire seed was 7-5.
It
Nice.
happens. It happens. I remember one seed. I want to believe it was a Stewie seed. That the first level it was 7-1, and you are small, and there weren't like any like mushroom
Oh!
houses like at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Actually, in the match between me and Gimp Extreme, the first level was 7-6.
I hate when that happens, bro. Like, if I have an opportunity to just take a death and go into a mushroom house and just play and just get an item, just to clip, I will do it. And you have guys watched that because I did it in my last match, I guess. But yeah, like you guys. Pretty much I admire you like in terms of the things that you achieve, like in in this tournament that you guys deliver what the people were expecting, like in terms of having like such an amazing grand finale, and I'm so happy, that I got to be here to do these comms for. Any closing closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, I just want to say congrats to Japezu on the win, fully deserved, and thanks for all the comms, been great fun, and yeah, see everyone next year. So hopefully next year I can probably do better in the brackets, probably get out of the group stages, probably play more aggressive, I would say. But I've had a lot of fun, so to get to the finals, definitely.
Mario 3 sucks, play Barbie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to retire and play Barbie speedruns for the rest of my life.
Japezu,
Joo.
viimeiset fiilikset. Tai mitä haluat tähän sanoko joku loppusanat?
Aina, mikä jäi harmittanut tässä turnauksessa, niin CrEgg meni hajottamaan mun perfect recordin. Niin se jäi harmittaa, mutta mikään muu ei jää.
Awesome. Japezu just said that only thing he feels bad about that CrEgg broke his streak to be undefeated.
Oh,
He lost he lost only once in this whole cup.
well, that's certainly something you gotta be proud of.
He swiped all the rest of the competitors with 2-0 wins, but lost once for CrEgg. And it
that's certainly a really nice record to have, like for the next year. Like probably people are going to say like, oh, well, this is like the like that Finnish runner that swept up like all the competition like throughout the tournament. I should be more aggressive and get better, I want to have like a chance against him. Like that's definitely like some motivation boost to all like the future prospects of the Challenge Cup tournament, or like the brackets as well. Any final thoughts, like True Hyper?
Not really, but I can actually tell that this concludes the SMB3 Randomizer Challenge Cup, but it's not over yet. We still have the main tournament bracket stage, bronze medal game, and the grand finals. Yeah, actually, they've been scheduled already. Bronze medal match, best of 5 between Pro A 007 and Midiguy DP. Friday, August 12, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then the grand finals, 2022, best of 5 between TX88 and the Haxor. August 13, Saturday, August 13, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Alrighty, so you gotta mark your calendars, because like True Hyper mentioned, there is still like the last section of this randomizer to be finishing out. But again, give you guys a follow for the runners if you haven't done, because these guys are amazing runners. If you guys want to give like a follow to all these runners, like they deserve them certainly, because not only like they're amazing like random runners, they're also like really nice vanilla runners. And if you feel so inclined, also you can give us a follow, to the commentary booth, to Hyper and stuff. Again, like the Challenge Cup already just finished today, and I'm so happy, like that I got to see like the final outcome of this Challenge Cup. It's always a pleasure to be part of the commentary booth, and I have to thanks a lot to SpeedGaming, for hosting like these events, to Makora, like that actually, put all the pieces together, to start like the tournament, and to everyone that has actually gave out a hand, to help like in the commentary booth, being part of the tournament, and all the people that it's always like in the setup, like in the backstage. Huge shout outs to everybody over there. And
oh, by the way, one final question.
Mhm.
Japezu, Yes or no? Does this win give you enough confidence to participate in the Finnish points tournament starting this month? Yes or no? I don't know is not the answer.
Maybe.
Wrong answer!
Maybe it's a good answer because also like moving from one type of tournament to another like format tournament, it can be quite of a shaky transition. But I know that guys like Japezu and all the Finnish community, they're always going to give out like a really good show like on their tournament. But again, set your calendars for August 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern and August 13th at the same hour, because definitely these upcoming matches of the main brackets are going to give. I mean, they're going to put out like one amazing show. I can feel that for sure. So with that said, this might be like the end for the challenge, but definitely it was a pleasure to have all the guys like in the chat, to have all the guys in the commentary booth, everybody like to been participating in this tournament, and hopefully we have new surprises for the next tournament like the next year. So I'm Sharkid, alongside with Hyper, CrEgg and Japezu over here. I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday, and see you guys whenever that happens. Hope everybody has a great time.
Just keep swimming.
And that's correct. Just keep swimming.
Yeah. I don't have any final thoughts, but okay, it has been an honor to do this commentary as being part of the tournament, as a participant, and I'll be back for next year. Maybe I'll lose on purpose and enter the Challenge Cup to steal the title from Japezu.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You have to go. You have to get through me first.
Easy as bacon pie. Wait, what?
All right. Yeah.
Rivalry is on.
Get
Rivalry is on.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Yep. Bye.
See you next time!